Welcome to Intro to Lists. In this video, we're going to cover the difference between lists and audiences, all of the ways in which you can create, add, and modify a list, and all of the ways in which you can action on a list or fire off a list from your plays. So let's get into it. Now, you might be wondering, what's the difference between lists and audiences? Here's how to think about it. Lists are static and audiences are dynamic. An example of why you'd want a dynamic audience is, let's say you want to capture website visitors within the past 3 days. You want to create an audience of that connected to a play, and every day you want that play to fire off, check the new visitors to your website, and send them an email. In contrast, let's say you want to create a static list of website visitors for the past 3 days. Then you create that list, use it once, send them your marketing blast, and you run that play just one time. So that's the difference between lists and audiences, is that audiences is dynamic and lists are static. To fully illustrate this, let's walk through the example together. So first, let's create an audience of said website visitors for the past 3 days. Let's go ahead and click Website Activity. Website activity detected in the last 3 days. People, and here we see 35 people. I can create this audience, toggle here to the People tab. I can see these folks. And now when I add this to my plays, this is going to check every time. And tomorrow, this list is going to be different because the look back of who visited in 3 days will change. In contrast, let's go ahead and look at creating lists. So if we click New List in the upper right-hand corner, there's 3 ways we can do this. We can create an empty list and add to it from within the Unify app. We can define criteria using the same modules that we used earlier, and we can upload a CSV. Let's start with this to continue and finish the comparison between lists and audiences. So now let's define a criteria of a list of website visitors of the past 3 days. This is people. We'll follow the same condition here. We actually see the number is going to be the same. And let's create this list. And we can see that the list is assembling given this notification in the bottom right-hand corner. And now tomorrow, when I go back to this list, it's going to stay the same and it's going to be this list of people. So we give you the flexibility to choose how to create your list or audience depending on the kind of play that you want to run. Now let's finish looking at all the ways we can create a list. So we just covered by criteria. Next, let's walk through how to create an empty list and add people or companies from within the Unify app. So let's say I'm a sales rep and every morning I open Unify and I go to my People tab and I look for people that are on our website exhibiting high activity. Let's call this my hot prospects list. Call this People, click Create List. And now I'm going to go into the People tab into Unify. And let's say that I can see that my colleague Michaela was just on the website 4 minutes ago. And when I look at her activity, I can see that she's been looking at quite a lot of pages. And so I want to cold call her. So I'm going to add her to my hot prospects list. And to do this, I'm going to click this Add to List button in the upper right-hand corner. Add her here, click Add, and now she's been added. Now under Michaela's profile in Unify, I can see that she's also been added to this list. Last but not least, let's talk about CSV upload. This is the last way to create lists. And a good example here is, let's say you attended a conference and the conference attendee gives you a list of people that also attended the conference. So now you want to email them and invite them to watch a demo of your product. There's 3 ways that you need to structure this CSV. So either it has just emails, or first name, last name, and domain if you don't have emails, or just LinkedIn URLs. Either of these structures will allow us to enrich and identify these people. Let's say I have just emails, and I'm going to call this conference attendees. Let's just give this a more specific name. And then Unify will start to automatically map here. Now we just need to map this. So we're going to say that this column has the emails. Click Next. and see the emails here. And now we just need to click Start Upload. These people will now be enriched appropriately and uploaded into our list. That covers the 3 ways that you can create lists. Now let's transition to how to action on them and how to use them in your plays. So first thing we can do is when we're working through a list is we can select people here to remove them or add them to sequences. So let's say that now I want to add these 3 conference attendees to a conference follow-up sequence. I can select the sequence here in my sequence dropdown and then select which mailbox this sequence goes out of. To extend, if we had a large list with many different personas, let's say that we had sales leaders, marketing leaders, and RevOps leaders, I could create different sequences for those personas, and then I could route by persona and by mailbox, and Unify will automatically handle that routing. So this is how to action on a list of people by adding them to a sequence. In the final part of this tutorial, let's look at how to action on your list in a play. The first thing we can do is we can use a list as a trigger to fire off a play. To do that, we want to say that the trigger is when record matches criteria, and we want to reach out to people, and the criteria is going to be under the people. We're going to add a condition where the attribute is that they are in a list. And here is where we can specify the exact list that we want to action on. So this is how you would set up a list as a trigger. And last but not least, we also have an add to list node, which you can connect to any other node and have people that are from that node added into a list. So this concludes the Intro to List tutorial. In this tutorial, we covered the difference between lists and audiences. Lists are static and audiences are dynamic. We covered the 3 ways you can create a list, which is through manually adding people or companies from the Unify app, defining with criteria, and CSV upload. And last but not least, how to action on a list. So you can use it to add people to sequences and route them dynamically based on persona. You can also use lists to trigger and fire off plays, and also as a node within a play to add people to your list. That concludes the tutorial. Thank you so much. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and see you in the next video.